was well known for its attractive flight attendants. Don't know what to say about that. Hello everybody and welcome to another Tower 3D Pro video, this time from Phoenix, but this will not be a usual gameplay video. The title of the video may have given it away. Yeah, we are here to have a very first look of the soon-to-be released RETRO Real Color pack. Gabo from Nyergesdesign gave me the chance to have a look at the preview version, so we all can, discover some of the new aircraft models and liveries together. You already see there's an Concorde. Hard to tell, but it's Air France livery. There will also be British Airways liveries in the game, but this is not the interesting part of the airport. This is much more interesting. Lots and lots of new aircraft models and of course airlines and liveries. But I don't want to stretch this introduction too much. We are here to see some of the planes in action. So yeah, let's start with the Tower Air. TR 1983 pushback approved, expect runway 26 via Delta Tango Bravo.
Ground 26 via Delta Tango Bravo pushback approved.
Let's zoom a little bit in and also activate the action cam. Yeah, the view was better before. That was not very smart from me, but I guess we will have a better view on the livery in just a couple of seconds. Yeah, this T-Air, it's kind of interesting if you dive a little bit deeper into the history of the airline. Some
Ground,
weird
T-Air 1983 ready to taxi.
Yeah, some weird coincidences and some smart and some not so smart decisions we're going on with this airline. T-Air 1983, continue taxi.
Continue taxi TR 1983.
And one of the not so smart decisions was probably that the CEO, that's how you say it, yeah, he made this junior the vice president of operations at a very early age. He was in his early 20s, I believe. Definitely had a lack of experience coming from 20th Century Fox. And yeah, and in the end he was removed from that position, stayed in the airline, but
1927 requesting push and start.
Had nothing to do with the operational business anymore. That was after back and forth with the airline and the not FFA, FAA. But maybe due to his connections to Hollywood, the airline managed to get one of the planes in two movies. One was
runway 25 right.
Liar Liar and the other one was Turbulence, both from 1997 if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, the aircraft in the films and the movies were Boeing 747-200, and this is actually exactly what we are looking at right now.
Tower TWA 1930 requesting push and start.
Oh wow. Already behind. How is that possible? Okay, whilst Tower Air is on its way to the runway, let's start the next flight, and this will be Pan Am. Clipper 1927, pushback approved, expect runway 26.
Ground, 26 pushback approved. Clipper 1927.
There it is, another 747, this time a 747-100. And yeah, what to tell about Pan Am. So much history, so much stories you could tell. As a German, of course, you could talk about the internal German services. Somewhere from the 1950s or so, 1951 maybe, I don't know. But until 1990, between West Germany and West Berlin. Yeah, they had a lot of fallouts. For example, from the oil crisis in 1973 or the first Gulf War, of course. So yeah, they were around for 64 years, if my math is correct. 1927 to 1991, I have written down here. So 64 years, yeah. And actually, if you want to be totally precise, they are still around, not as an airline, but in 1998, I believe. Have not written that down. Stupid me. I mean 1998 was. The Guildford Transportation Industries purchased pretty much the all naming rights and intellectual properties, and so now it is operating as Pan Am Railways. So yeah, in fact, Pan Am is still around, not as an airline, but yeah, from plane to train. Clipper 1927, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Clipper 1927.
TWA 1930, pushback approved, expect runway 26.
Ground, 26 pushback approved. TWA 1930.
Northeastern 1982, runway 25 right, clear to land.
Runway 25 right, cleared to land, Northeastern 1982.
Yeah, and whereas Pan Am,
1968 with you, runway 25 right.
Transworld Airlines can't be far away. Yeah, back in the days, the main competitor of Pan Am, one of the big four airlines. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, the big four domestic airlines in the US: Pan Am,
Tower,
United,
Apple
Eastern, and of
1980
course
requesting push and
TWA.
start.
They filed a couple of times bankruptcy, but managed to come back 2 times, but in 2001 they filed their 3rd and final bankruptcy and then were acquired by American Airlines. Why are you not pushing back, my friend? We'll give you a couple of time. TA 1983, runway 26, line up and wait.
Runway 26, line up
So,
and wait, TR 1983.
TWA is waiting for its pushback. Let's see what Northeastern International Airways is doing. Northeastern 1982, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal, Northeastern 1982.
So we will have a closer look
Ground,
at
TWA 1930, ready to taxi.
the livery in just a second when it's passing this point somewhere. TA 1983, runway 26, cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 26 cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Independent
TR
1966, runway 25 right, clear to land.
Runway 25 right, cleared to land, Independent 1966.
Pan Am 1927, runway 26, line up and wait.
Tower, Palm
Nope.
1972 with you, runway 25 right.
Yeah, you are
Say
Pan
again.
Am, but your call sign is Clipper, of course. Clipper 1927, runway 26, line up and wait.
Runway 26 line up and wait Clipper
TWA
1927.
13, nope, TWA 1930, continue taxi.
Continue taxi TWA 1930. Tower, Rish Air 1969er requesting push and start.
Rish Air, okay. Yeah, I'll take care of you in a couple of seconds, but we want to have a look at the Northeastern flight. Yeah, here it says it's an AB3. I guess the B3 is not related to the variant. If I'm informed correctly, there is no B3 variant for the Airbus 300. It's B1, B2 and B4. So actually this must be an Airbus A300 B2. So the 3 is maybe related to the A300.
Tower, Malef 1954 requesting push and start.
Yeah, actually I don't have so much to say about this airline. The name gives it away. They operated their scheduled passenger flights in the northeastern United States. We're kinda greedy, so to say. Try to expand too quick, which led
Tower, MarkAir 1946 with you runway 25 right.
the airline to be unprofitable. But yeah, good for us, I guess. So we have it in the retro pack. Who are you? You are Key Air 1968, runway 25 right, clear to land.
Runway 25 right clear to land Key Air 1968.
Clipper 1927, runway 26, clear for takeoff.
Runway 26 cleared for takeoff, Clipper 1927.
Let's quickly clear these two flights before I forget them and they go around. We don't want that. Palm 1972, runway 25 right, clear to land.
Runway 25 right cleared to land Palm 1972.
MarkAir 1946, runway 25 right, clear to land.
Runway 25 right cleared to land MarkAir 1946.
So, Independent Air, charter airline. Yeah, originated with Atlanta Skylarks and operating the flights for the Atlanta Skylarks Travel Club. Independent 1966, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal Independent 1966.
Actually, it took quite some time before they changed the name to Independent Air. It was, according to my notes, I need to have a quick look, in 1984, where they got the license for worldwide charters. And yeah, mainly they flew the holiday charters, but also for the US military. And this actually is 707-331, which they purchased from TWA. Unfortunately, one of them had a horrible crash when, on its approach to Santa Maria Island in Portugal. But yeah, of course, some of these airlines had crashes. When you're out of business, it's usually because of money and a crash. Yeah, it's almost certain that it leads to having trouble getting enough money to operate the airline. Clipper 1927, contact departure.
Roger, good day.
TWA 1930, runway 26, cleared for takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 26 cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure TWA 1930.
So, here we have New York Air. And actually, yeah, let's do that. Apple 1980, pushback approved, expect runway 26 via Delta Sierra.
Ground, 26 via Delta Sierra, pushback approved. Apple 1980.
Yeah, with New York, I actually was a little surprised that it is actually, or was not a company from New York, but from Texas. The Texas Air Corporation was starting the flights in the 1980s. Or to be precise, it was
Ground,
1980.
Apple 1980 ready to
it was
taxi.
a startup airline they owned and was based in New York, LaGuardia. And yeah, Texas Air was in airline holding, so they was basically created to hold and invest in airlines. But New York Air was not around for so long. They got their license I haven't wrote it down. Yeah, don't want to say something stupid. But what I know is that they ended their operations on February 1st in 1987 in a merger with Continental Airlines. And yeah, let's start at first. Apple 1980, continue taxi. Apple 1980, continue taxi.
Continue taxi Apple 1980.
The aircraft model we are seeing here is, yeah, on the airplanes file, it is called Boeing DC-930, but this is of course because of the merger with Boeing in the late 1990s, but when New York Air was around, it was of course the McDonnell Douglas DC-930. But let's see if we can get a closer look when it's taxiing down Sierra. What about who we have here? It's MarkAir. Bridge Air is waiting for quite some time over there. Bridge Air 1969, pushback approved. Expect runway 26.
Ground, 26 pushback approved. Reach Air 1969er.
And that's an airline that was actually founded to be a cargo airline and was flying courtesy for 6 and Beechcraft 18s to the Caribbean. And yeah, it was it started in 1969 and it was in 1982 when the carrier was granted permission to fly passenger charters, and so they began their operations to Europe and Hawaii. And yeah, it's a kind of sad story. There was a chance that Rich International Airways would still be around these days, but the FAA grounded Rich for alleged maintenance irregularities, as they stated, and
Ground.
yeah,
1969
finally
ready to taxi.
it led to have them cease their operations in 1996. But later the FAA released their findings and stated that the grounding of Rich may have been an overreaction. So that's kind of sad, but what is not so sad. But first let's have a look at this red apple. It actually has the Apple logo on the side here. We can't see it right now. What was I about to say? Yeah, Rich International. A Lockheed TriStar. If we go back to the plane, with this middle turbine, with a very weird airflow for me. The air is going in here, going down, and then out here. I find it pretty weird, but yeah, back in the days, there was a time where this was a usual thing to do. So yeah, for me it's weird. Which Air 1969, continue taxi.
Continue taxi Reshare 1969er.
Yeah, we will in just a second have a look at Air Florida, and yep, there was the opportunity to have a Lockheed 188 Electra in the game, but Nyergesdesign decided against it, which is not a bad thing at all. It's just a little sad for me because the Lockheed Electra is one of my favorite aircraft models, so I was hoping it is in the game, or it comes to the game, but unfortunately not. But this is a real color pack, and when it comes to the liveries, the choice Garbo-made is definitely the right one, because the very old white and red livery is kind of ugly, to be honest. So let's see if we can get New York Air in the air. Apple 1980, runway 26, cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 26 cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure Apple 1980.
So, where is Key Airlines here? Key Air 1968, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal Key Air 1968.
Yeah, this is another airline. Using an aircraft with its middle engine. I can't help myself. I find it weird. I don't know. But here we see at least a part of the Apple logo. it is. But back to key airlines. They were around for quite some time, from 1968 to 1993. Originally founded as Thunderbird Airlines. But then they bought Sun Valley Airlines, and then they were known for Sun Valley Key Airlines for a couple of years, and then they changed the name to Key Airlines. But using jets was actually not in the beginning. They started as a commuter and charter air carrier in the western United States, and they had a fleet with prop and turboprops. And yeah, only in the later years, with a hub in Savannah, Georgia, they had scheduled passenger flights and had their jets operating. In this case, it's a 727-200. Which is actually pretty close to the 727-100. This is a stretched version. It's 20 feet longer, according to my notes, if I haven't made a mistake here. And for this model, for the 200, the intake of the middle engine is round. With the 100, it was kind of, yeah, an oval. Kind of like an egg shape. No, not an egg shape. An egg is not really oval. But I guess you get what I was trying to say. It's a pretty clean livery. I like it. I like this black turbines. Pretty cool. Unfortunately, the graphics of the game aren't so good that you can read the text, their text logo. It's a bit unfortunate, but that's not due to the recolor pack. It's because of the game graphics. Air Florida. Palm 1972. Pushback approved. No.
Say again.
In arrival. Palm 1972. Taxi to terminal. Makes more sense.
Taxi to terminal Palm 1972.
And here we have it. Not in Lockheed Electra, but it is in yeah. Let's have a look at the key airline. Now we actually can see the text logo. It's a super clean livery. I like it a lot. But back to Air Florida. Air Florida Palm 1972. And here we have the livery. It's a Boeing 737-200, if I'm not mistaken. Where is it? Whoop. There it is, 737-200. Yeah, as I said, yeah, I was so much hoping that there is the Lockheed L188 Electra in the game, but yeah, I guess it was maybe too time consuming creating the model with his 4 turboprop engines and his kind of bulky body, and it's a weird aircraft, but as I said, livery wise, definitely the best choice to go with this model. Florida actually started using two Boeing 707 jetliners from Pan Am, and then later they replaced them with the Lockheed Electra. Yeah, they weren't around for so long, from 1972 to 1984, but they grow pretty quickly, and I flew internationally to Mexico, Canada and Europe. So yeah, one fact I found, I don't know if it's a fact or if it's just a rumor, the internet says that Florida was well known for its attractive flight attendants. Don't know what to say about that. Hashtag me too, maybe. And yeah, but not so attractive was a crash of Air Florida Flight 90. You will get loads of information on it when you Google Air Florida Flight 90, or even if you just Google Potomac River. There's plenty of information on a quite horrible crash. But we don't want to talk about crashes. Not a time for sad things. We want to get some planes in the air. The next one is the Malev, Hungarian Airlines. Malev 1954 pushback. No, that's MarkAir. Malev 1954 pushback approved. Expect runway 26.
Ground 26 pushback approved. Malev 1954.
Yeah. I guess that model is not supposed to be on this gate. To be fair, I just placed them somewhere where we can have a closer look, and not where an appropriate terminal would be. Bridge Air 1969er, runway 26, cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 26 cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure Rish Air 1969er.
And while the Malev flight is pushing back, we will send MarkAir to the terminal. MarkAir 1946, taxi to terminal via Echo Sierra.
Taxi to terminal via Echo Sierra, MarkAir 1946. Ground, Malev 1954 ready to taxi.
MarkAir actually was around for quite some time, as if I'm not mistaken, Alaska's biggest airway or airline. Started as Interior Airways, carrying cargo, and yeah, in 1972 they changed their name to Alaska International Air to reflect the international charter business, and in 1984 finally they renamed themselves to MarkAir with the new colors, and yeah, here again, internet, fact or rumor, who knows. Reportedly they were named after a newsboy named Mark, but I couldn't find any information on who this newsboy was. So let's have a quick look. He is just about to make the turn. Malev 1954, continue taxi.
Continue taxi Malev 1954.
And this is Boeing 373 Classic. So if I'm not mistaken, all 737s, 300, 400 and 500s are seen as 737 Classic. And with this model, the
Tower,
737-400,
111 requesting push and start.
because the wings are so low, they actually had to remodel the engine, so you can't really see it. I needed to stop him a little earlier, but they are kind of flat on the bottom, so they are not in the way when taxiing and landing. And here we have a, for me, totally weird aircraft. I actually have not so much information about the airline, the Malev-Hungarian Airlines. I know this is a Tupolev Tu-154, and yeah, it's a strange aircraft in some ways. It's first of all, for me, this airflow thingy is still weird for me. I don't know.
Tower, Aloha 2222 requesting push and start.
Why they invented that, and but with engine 1 and 3, or 1 and 2, and the middle one is a 3. I have no idea actually. They are not straight. They are in an angle, so they point toward the back, so making kind of a triangle. And I have no idea how this plane is able to fly. Yeah, it's totally weird for me why they are not straight, and everything is weird about this aircraft. But it actually, or obviously, does make sense. We will pause it here for a second. To have it this way, maybe we can see it a little better. It's making this turn. It is actually one of the fastest civilian aircraft still in use, with a cruising speed of 530 miles per hour, which is pretty fast. But can't fly anywhere and to every destination because of noise regulations. Yeah, can't fly to Western Europe and some other regions. But as of now, as of today, there are still
Tower, Amtrak 3333 requesting push and
about
start.
40 of this aircraft still in civil or military service. So let's see if we can have a glimpse. We can't see it. Yeah, with the right engine we can see it a little bit, that it is pretty diagonal. We can start for just a second. Maybe we get a closer look when the airline starts, and with the takeoff if we have camera view on top of it. Malev 1954, runway 26, cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 26 cleared for takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure Malev 1954. Tower, Northwest 4444 requesting push and start.
Yep, Northwest, you can sit there for a moment. The video actually is way longer than planned. I planned it for 15 minutes, up to a maximum of 20 minutes, but I guess I was talking a little bit too much. Yeah, why not? It's a little bit longer, this video. I hope you're still around with me. We will not let this plane start, but for a final screenshot, so to say, I will have them line up here on Tango or Sierra, maybe Sierra. And so we can have a look at the other liveries.
Tower, Aircall 5555 requesting push and start.
These are of course not all liveries, but I will get to that in a couple of minutes. So let's start this Malev Hungarian flight.
Tower, Reno Air 6666 requesting push and start.
Let's see if we can get a good shot if the camera turns around. Normally it does when the airplane rotates, but yeah, of course, not
Tower,
today.
Wasatch 7777 requesting
Yeah,
push and
that
start.
was not the rotation I was hoping for. Okay, so you have to take my word for it. Whoa, yeah. This is a thing in the game. Having airplanes doing a 360 after takeoff is quite common in this game. That is definitely not related to the aircraft model. Okay, let's do some editing magic, and I will have the planes be holding here on Delta and line them up on Sierra, and then I will be back with you in, yeah, for you just a second or two. And here we are, back with all these aircraft lined up, so we can have a very brief look at what is in the pack. At least a couple of the liveries and the aircraft models. Yeah, we had operating 11 flights, plus this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flights, makes a total of 20. The retro color pack, when it's ready, will have 53 liveries from, if I'm not mistaken, 47 different airlines, so plenty more to discover. But what I have seen so far, I do like it. Yeah, let's quickly go over them. What do we have? America West Airlines, of course. Here's British Caledonia. This is the Concorde with the Air France livery. Also, the British Airways livery will be in the color pack. Here we have Morris Air, Northwestern, of course, Northwest Airlines, Reno Air, which I can't help myself. I really like this livery. I have no idea why. I just like it. Don't know. Like the logo, like the mountains. Can't explain. Just like it. Here we have ATA Airlines. And Lower Airlines, of course. And at the very least, this must be Morris Air, isn't it? No, can't be Morris Air. Morris Air is here. This definitely is, what is it? Air California. Oh wow. This is Air California. So, but on the finished pack there of course will be more liveries. You will have ValueJet and Olympic Airlines, British Airways, Air New Zealand, NZ Australia, the old Lufthansa livery, Air Canada, Kiwi International, Braniff, and what have you. So yeah, that's that from me for the moment. Let's see if we can get a cool shot over here, maybe this or so. And yeah, at the end I just want to thank again Gabor from Nyergesdesign, sending me the preview version. It will be released soon. I don't have an actual date, but it is very, very likely it will be this month and probably sooner than later. And yeah, the idea of a retro real color pack was around in the community for quite some time, and brought back to attention to Gabor a couple of months ago, and he decided to make it happen, which I'm very happy about. I don't know how you feel, I hope you too. It's yeah, a little risky move from Gabor, not for us members of course, but for him, not knowing how well it will perform when it comes to sales. So putting all these endless hours into modeling these airplanes and yeah, creating and placing the liveries. You can't do it just in a couple of days work, and it takes a long time, and yeah, kudos to Gabor for making it possible for the community. And also I have to name Hexet, a community member that is that took care and is taking care of all the community related stuff. He was creating the poll, what airlines should be in, so we all from the Tower 3D community could vote on it, and he's keeping us up to date. I will link the thread with all the information and the updates down in the description, so you can have a look there. So yeah, thanks a lot to Gabor and to Hexet, and of course all community members that were interested in the retro pack and yeah, making it happen. So I hope you enjoyed this very first look. This is not a review, it's actually just a first look. Maybe some things will change before the release. That I don't know, but what I know is that I will definitely get this pack. I will buy it as soon as it is out, and I also plan to have it somehow implemented in the schedule builder, so you can choose to have these airlines built in your schedules from the schedule builder. Okay, if you have any comments, questions or whatever, you can write it down in the comments or post it in the forum. As I said, the link is in the description, and now I'll let you go. This video is already way too long. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye folks!